So we'll see an example. Yeah, stream is no longer needed. So some machinery is involved. The structure is for that. So maybe you're buying car parts. So the model of the car, the index of the part, and the cost is pretty much it. And now we write the main function. N part size, and let's make the size a constant. So we'll give a global declaration here. So const means that this is a constant, not a variable. And size equals 4. So we have, okay, so usually constants are written in all capital SI, Z, E. So I have not followed the convention. Now run a for loop. Ask for the model number, and it should get the model number. And this has the structure object and cout. after all this we can say L so in the end it lumps these values in the same structure and outputs. Okay, so one thing I would like to ask before I forget, someone questioned yesterday that if we don't count the number of links before and after the decimal, then how are we going to equalize? Who asked it? Yes?
I think, sir, most of us has the same doubt.
Sorry?
I think, sir, most of us has the same doubt.
Okay, okay. So you have not figured it out yet. So the thing is that if you, I mean, explicitly count them, so two linked lists, suppose, simple problem, two linked lists, I want to find whether they're of equal length or not. I'm explicitly counting them, that is, you know, you just want to find some abstract value which can be linked with the number of nodes in the link list, something like that. I mean, it's not necessary because I don't want the absolute value of how many links are there. I want some, I want some relation between the two links.
So we can just traverse the lists and whichever we reach null first, and if we haven't reached null in the other, then we know they're not of equal length.
First, the list parallelly, two lists parallelly. And so if you reach the end together, then they're equal size. If you reach one before the other, then the one you reach is smaller. That's it. Good. Okay. So see out. We'll just run this, and the name of this program is str string program 1. So where did I forget the semicolon? See the error, it is in 18. we have given this is 4, right? So, so yeah, putting, I mean, imagining an array inside a structure is just a data element you will look at. But this is like where the structure itself, in a way, it resides in an array. The object is itself here. So yeah, this is how you do it. And let's move to the next topic. Book is, yeah, so arrays of objects. Array of object is pretty much similar to this, so you should do that at home. And we know how to access objects in an array. That is fine. Okay, so C strings. So two types of strings are used, one of which I forgot to mention in the written question. So one is C strings and the other are the objects of the string class. Okay, so C string, or I guess C is for character. So we'll just take this as program 2. Okay, let's see how to do it. Small example. Repeat this. Yeah, we'll set this as a constant, but it doesn't matter much. Okay, so let's see how this works. What happened? this is not saved yet. Okay, the system was misbehaving. So maybe. Okay, that's fine. So what is happening is that we are fixing the length of the string and we are declaring a character array here. The string is basically an array of characters, which is why I advised you not to use string in the previous lab, yesterday's lab. Okay, so now the question is, let me see what happens here. This is some, okay, this has 80, I mean, it can accommodate 80 characters, so I'll make this 10. Now if I again this, and what are any words greater than 10? Okay. Examination. That is fine. Hello words. Okay. So there's some problem here. Cannot take more than what is right. If I say then probably also, I mean, because it's less than the number that is there. Okay, but yeah, okay, okay, so fine. So exactly the number of, the size of the array should be matched. Number of elements that you give there should be at most that many, or it should have like less number of elements. So yeah, what to do about this? So let me keep this as a question to you.
So you have taken the string length as 10.
Yeah. No. So let
You
me
are entering 11 characters.
uh, pose the question, which you will think about. Question. So, I mean, yeah, I put it more than the length, but this can happen. The user can by mistake put some extra things there, which you might not need for the whatever manipulation you will do. So, question: if the user inputs a string of greater than specified length, then can we then can we keep, so can we keep the first like what do you call, so if the length is 10 and the user say puts 12 characters, then what I want to do is that I will take the first 10 characters. Okay, if the greater than specified length n, then can we keep the first n characters and drop the rest? Okay. So don't think at home or just find out the answer at home. Okay, this is, I mean, this is a practical concern. This is what we have to do. Okay. All right. So constants is so this like one. I mean, you have to do with like so some one or two commands you'll have to include, and that will take care of this. But you will tell me tomorrow or someday later what to do. Right. So next topic. Okay. Let's also. So here actually whatever I'm doing is I'm inputting in one line, right? Only one line. So that is another drawback here. Say, let's increase this a bit, 100, and then just enter a string, and the thing that we used yesterday, instead of doing this, can we say that in get a string, then max, then color. Okay. See how you enter this string, that is fine. Let's see. So just again we'll first compile string program 2, the earlier one. So what was happening here? Whatever I enter, no, I have to press enter and the input is accepted. But when I use string program, I mean when I compile string program 3, okay, and 22. Let's see what it does. So this is a, see, nothing is happening. Okay, multi-line string. And actually here we specified this that, I mean, so this function means like here is the string on which you are operating, max is the size, and this will be the ending symbol. So as soon as I do this and then enter, done. You entered this is a multi-line string. It reads everything. So one more thing that we need to know here. So I'll have to interesting. Okay. Let me. Where is that? Okay. Anyway, it was 10, right? If I do this word gap, okay. Let's see. Do you understand what happened? It terminated when I put a space. Okay, so this is another advantage of using this get function. Okay, so all the spaces. I mean, in yesterday's example, if you used the other, I mean, if you did something like this, C in then double arrows thing, then you would not be able to even detect. I mean, it would either stop midway when you encountered. No. So yesterday's thing was we didn't have space. Had we given space, then some other problem would have happened. But the thing is that we had two numbers, so free of space. But the thing is that if you use just C and the double arrow operator, you would not be able to detect the end of line. That null you would not be able to detect. Okay. So in such positions, get function is RST. Okay. So what is next? Copying strings. Copying strings the hard way says, and here what we'll do is we are using the this C string class. Check once if this is all right. Fine. Okay. So integer main. So character 1, and let's keep this empty because it will adjust to the number, I mean to the input size, and say the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, right? So this has okay, so possibly the smallest sentence containing all the English letters. We have this, and let's set integer max is equal to 80. This is less than 88. This is written. Okay, fine. Way less than 80. Character string 2 is initialized with this number of cells. For j equals to 0, So this is just like index wise copy. Yeah. We'll insert null at the end to separate out from possible chunk values. See out. Sorry, so this has no business inside the bracket because this null adjustment is later, and at the end we have to just see out the string at the go. What happens? J was not declared in the scope, so we'll have to remove this declaration elsewhere. Fine. So index wise copying is done, and we can also, instead of doing all this, we could have done this. What could have we done? Anyone? Yes. We could have thrown this part away, and instead what instead of writing this part, what could have we done? Okay, might not know because this one is kind of general knowledge. String copy str1, str2. Something wrong has happened. It was misbehaving earlier, so let me check once. This is right. So is this? This is alright. String. Okay. So 2 gets things from 1. Yeah, that's. Yeah. So the magic of string copy. However, if you get such a thing in the lab and it is not explicitly mentioned that you are allowed to use the string class, then of course you have to do it in the previous way. One more thing, let's continue. String is here. String, C string will not in this one. Let me comment it out for the time being. it. So this is a real practice that I'm doing. You should always take care to write capital A's because it's a constant. But yeah, I'll just do this. So. String array is days. It's a double dimensional array. That is Sunday. Tuesday. And of course, so this is an array of strings, as you can see, and we can do this integer j 0 is j. So let's see. Fine. Okay, so strings as class members. Okay, so the standard string class we can now again take up. So it can be string can be like yeah. So when we use the inbuilt string class, basically string is represented by an object, and this can be done in constructor done through a constructor with no arguments, creating an empty list, empty string, or one argument constructor where the argument is a C string constant, that is characters are limited by inputs, and yeah, so there's not much to see here. Right, so the like most frequent implementation of this string, I mean, yeah, of course, if you do, I mean, in regular programs, also you need it a lot. But usually, when you're reading a text file, the text file can be read in chunks and stored in the string. Next, last code that we'll see is this. string. Full. Name. Address. Enter line and get line. So this. So here, yeah, they are. So like it is similar both ways. Whether we use a stream object to read things from a file or text file, or from the shell as supplied by the user. Things are quite similar in many ways. Greeting is a string, right? Okay. And then greeting. So this should, yeah. So these are elements of the string class. So not sure. Probably this should be, yeah. So we'll learn from a possible error. It's either plus or plus plus. The concatenation marks like that. Okay. Okay. So, see out. Say enter press lines. Terminate with save convert as before, and let's make it look nice. And yeah, as we have stated, so get is basically one character at a time and get line text chunks like one line. Okay. Cin address, and it breaks when this is seen. Enter your full name. So let's say what can be, let's say full name. And right, enter your nickname. That should be Anil. Enter your address on separate. Oh wait, which state was Anil Kumble from? Okay, no one knows. Yeah, he probably retired before you started watching cricket. Not sure from where he was, but let's say he had migrated to Mumbai. Yes. So here we have it, and this is a nice place to stop. We will continue with strings tomorrow, and after that we'll try to start. What is the next chapter? I think it's operator overloading. Yeah. So slowly we'll yeah. So we are already in object-oriented programming. We are doing types of classes. So, and this is an inbuilt class. We'll get into like more characterizing properties of OP soon. Okay. Yeah. So see you tomorrow at 11.